Good morning. This is homework questions from lessons 3, 4, and 5. All right, we'll start with lesson 3, problem number 2. The volume of this circular cone, so the volume is 48 pi meters cubed. Volume is the area of the base. So area of the base times its height. It gives us the height. It doesn't give us the radius. Since the base is a circle, the area of the base is pi r squared. And the height is 9, so that will be times 9 equals 48 pi. And our pi's eliminate. We divide both sides by 9. So we have the radius squared equals 48 divided by 9. Simplified is 16 thirds. To solve for the radius, is that what it wanted us to do? What is the circumference of the base? So we need the radius to know the circumference of the base. So the radius is the square root of 16 over 3. That's the same thing as the square root of 16 over the square root of 3, which is 4 over the square root of 3. In algebra, we would not leave that as a radical in the denominator. We would rationalize it by multiplying by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. So it's 4 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. Any square root times itself is the value under the radical. Now, the circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi 4 square root of 3 over 3. Multiply that 2 by the 4, 8. Square root of 3 pi, or 8 square root of 3 over 3 pi. Leave pi as pi. Number 4. This figure is the base of a cone. And it is 10 centimeters tall. What's the volume? Okay, we know the height. All right, so volume is area of base times the height. Okay? Volume is area of the base times the height. All right, so the area of the base. We know the height is 10. This is number 4. Problem number 4. All right, the base, we have a triangle and we have a sector of a circle. You always take the sector of the circle, take that 60 degrees, the measure of the central angle. So it's 60 degrees over all the way around the circle times the area of what the whole circle would be. So it's a portion of the circle, and that portion is that central angle over the 360 times the area. So the area is pi, r is 5 squared. All right, I can simplify that. That's 1, that's 6, that's going to be 25. So it's 1/6 pi 25, or 25 over 6 pi. All right, so that is the sector. Then we add to that the triangle, which is half of each of the legs multiplied. I'm going to take half of 8, which is 4. That's 20. So it's adding. So that's the area of the base. And we multiply all of that times the height. And so we distribute. We're leaving pi as pi. So we'll distribute the 10. We'll do it to the 20 first. So that's 200 plus. When I distribute it to the 25, 6 pi, I'll move the 10 over here. I'm going to simplify before I multiply. I could have done it in my head. 2 goes into 6, 3. 2 goes into 10, 5. Now I'm going to multiply. 5 times 25 is 125 over 3 pi, whatever the units are, cubed. That would be, don't forget your units, centimeters cubed. I did forget that in number 2, but you don't forget it. All right, now, number 14. Number 14. Okay. We have m to the 4th, x to the 5th, over k to the 5th, okay? That term is fine. We only have one term for each variable, and they're all positive exponents. All right, the next one, plus 2m squared x to the 5th over k to the 5th, m to the negative 2. We have 2 m's in that term, so we need to combine their exponents. Remember, division is subtraction. All right. Minus 3m cubed x squared k over m to the negative 4th x cubed k to the 4th. This one we have 2 of all of the variables, so we have to combine our exponents. All right, so we're going to just write this first term, our m's. We have m squared in the numerator, m to the negative 2 in the denominator. Remember, we look at the highest value. 2 is the highest value. It's greater than negative 2. That means I'm moving it to the numerator. So it's 2 minus negative 2, which is positive 4. So it's going to be m to the 4th in the numerator. We're leaving x and k. We have 2 like terms. We have like terms, we add their coefficients. This has a 1 if it's not written. All right, we leave our 3 in the numerator. Our m, 3 is a greater value than negative 4, so we're moving it up to the numerator. 3 minus negative 4, which is 3 plus 4, that's 7. X, we're moving it down because 3 is greater than 2. So 3 minus 2 is x to the 1st power. Remember, we don't write a 1 as an exponent, but we know that's what it is. The 4th for the exponent of k is greater than 1 in the numerator. So we moving k down, it's 4 minus 1, which is cubed. This is not a like term. All right, so we're combining these. 1 plus 2 is 3. M to the 4th, x to the 5th, over k to the 5th, minus 3m to the 7th over xk cubed. That is the solution. That's number 14. Number 16. This is all from lesson 3. I am on page 33. Okay, page 33. This is number 16. We have 2xy squared m minus 3x squared y squared m to the 4th all over m cubed x. Okay, I need to combine my m's, I need to combine my x's. Well, I'm writing a little crooked there, huh? 2x squared ym cubed all over mx squared. First term, all positive exponents, no 2 variables, so everything is in proper form. Minus 3. X, 2 is greater than 1. I'm moving it to the numerator. 2 minus 1 is just 1. Y, we're leaving it in the numerator. M, 4 is greater than 3, so 4 minus 3 is M. I didn't even need to draw the line. These are like terms. Let's look at our last term. 2 is in the numerator. Our x's cancel out. X squared over x squared is 1. Anything over itself is 1, so they cancel out. Y is by itself. M cubed is greater than m to the first, so we do 3 minus 1, which is 2. Okay, that is not a like term. This is, so we combine their coefficients. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So we don't need to write the 1. We just write negative x y squared m plus 2y m squared. That is the answer. All right, that was number 16. Number 17. My puppy just walked in here. Good morning, Molly. You need to go outside. Pause for a minute. I'll be right back. Come on. Oops, sorry. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for being patient and understanding. Number 17, we're going to simplify. I'm not even going to write x to the 0 because it's 1. Okay? On number 17. So it's y squared to the negative 3, y to the negative 2. Not going to write p to the 0 power because it's 1. All over x squared to the negative 4th. Y squared to the 0 power is 1. I'm not going to write it. P cubed to the negative 2. We'll eliminate parentheses first. Y squared to the negative 3. A power raised to a power, we multiply. So that's negative 6. Y to the negative 2. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. P cubed to the negative 2 is P to the negative 6. We'll combine our terms in the numerator, our variables rather, in the numerator. Multiplication is addition. Negative 6 plus negative 2 is negative 8 over x to the negative 8, p to the negative 6. All of our variables are negative. Let's just flip it and make it positive. So my x becomes positive, my p becomes positive, my y exponent becomes positive. Last problem, number 23 for lesson 3. So I'll make one video per lesson. All right, number 23. We have x to the negative 2, y squared, all of that raised to the 5th power. X to the 0, I'm not going to write, it's 1. So this next term is y to the negative 2 raised to the negative 4 all over x to the negative 4th. Look at my two y's in the parentheses. It's y times y squared. Remember, multiplication is addition. I'm going to go ahead and combine them. That's y cubed. 1 plus 2 is 3. All of that is squared. The next term is raised to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. All right, now we're going to eliminate parentheses. All right, so negative 2, remember, power raised to power, we multiply. Let's get that in our brain automatic. So that's negative 2 times 5, negative 10. 2 times 5, 10. Negative 2 times negative 4, this is going to be a positive, 8. Each of these terms is squared. Negative 4 times negative 2, negative 8. 3 times 2, 6. Now I'll combine my y values, my y terms, their variables, in the numerator. So that's x to the negative 10th. Remember, multiplication is addition to the 18th over x to the negative 8, y to the 6th. Now I decide, is negative 10 or negative 8 larger? Negative 8 is larger. It's a greater value. Remember, the smaller the negative, the higher the number. All right, so I do negative 8 minus negative 10, which is plus 10. So in the denominator, it's squared. My y is going to move up because 18 is greater than 6. So 18 minus 6 is 12. That's the video for lesson 3. I'll do another video for 4, then 5.